Welcome to the Knight's Path and episode 5 of the Unmarked Army. At the end of episode 4, you chose to seek the source of the mysterious power coursing through Marcus's veins. Caervelin woke when my blood touched the stone. The blue pendant shattered. 20 unmarked soldiers died where they stood, and so did my companions. Something beneath the earth noticed me, and when I walked east, the unmarked army nor the mountains stopped me. The emissary called me something I still do not understand, a breach, and you chose the most dangerous path of all, not to join them or to destroy them, but to seek the source of this power and maybe answers. With a contingent of unmarked soldiers, the emissary and I set off west from their large encampment early next morning. By dusk, we were back in Ashenford. The western sky burned red below the low hills of Ashenford, the sun melting slowly into the horizon like a dying coal. Long shadows stretched across wheat fields ready for harvest, the golden stalks whispering against one another in the evening wind. The village of Hearthhollow sat in the shallow valley between the two gentle ridges, 30 cottages at most. A small chapel with a crooked bell tower, a timber watchpost overlooking the King's Way. It was the kind of place kingdoms forgot until war arrives. Smoke curled peacefully from cooking fires. A dog barked somewhere beyond the first line of cottages. Children ran between the houses, chasing a wooden hoop. For a moment, only a moment, I remembered what it was like to walk roads like this, with purpose, with duty. I watched as hundreds of black figures moved silently down the slopes like a tide of shadows swallowing the light. No horns sounded, no banners flew, no war cry shattered the quiet valley. The first villager to see us simply froze in the middle of the dirt road, holding a lantern that swung slowly in his trembling hand. When he realized what he was looking at, the lantern slipped from his fingers and smashed against the ground. Flame licked dry grass. The village dog began barking wildly. Then someone screamed, and the unmarked advanced. Violence came to Hearthhollow with terrifying efficiency. Soldiers split into perfect formations without speaking. Doors shattered beneath steel boots. Flammable pitch-soaked thatched roofs, and the unmarked army quickly launched torches through the windows. The village erupted into chaos. Flames climbed into the twilight sky, orange light flickering across panicked faces and blank armour alike. Smoke rolled through the narrow lanes between cottages, thick and bitter, carrying the smell of burning wood, and soon enough, flesh. I walked through the centre of it, not rushing or fighting, merely observing. The blue beneath my skin pulsed faintly beneath my gauntlet, and the unmarked army responded. When I slowed, the soldier nearest me slowed. When I turned my head, entire formations shifted slightly to match my movement, like iron filings pulled towards a magnet. I hadn't spoken a single command, yet the army bent subtly around my presence. A man ran past me, ash streaking his face as he stumbled towards the far fields. One of the unmarked raised his sword. Without thinking, I formed a single thought. Wait. The soldier froze, not hesitating or wavering, completely still. His blade hung mid-air, as though time itself had paused around him. The man disappeared into the smoke. I stared at the soldier. Slowly, he lowered his sword and resumed marching. The emissary stepped beside me, watching the burning homes with the same calm expression the farmer might wear whilst inspecting a crop. "You see it now," he said quietly. "I didn't give an order. You didn't need to." He gestured subtly towards the soldiers. "They move with structure." "What structure?" The emissary's eyes drifted east, towards the mountains. The one beneath the world. Behind us, the chapel roof collapsed in a roar of sparks. Half Hollow was gone before the stars appeared. I felt nothing for the villagers. All that mattered was the power coursing through my veins and understanding its true potential. The Unmarked encamped along a dry riverbed beyond the village. Hundreds of soldiers, if not thousands, formed perfect rows beneath the rising moon. No drunken laughter, gambling, or songs. Just quiet movement, armour repaired, blades sharpened, food eaten in silence. Watching them was like watching an organism composed entirely of men, like a colony of ants. And the longer I stood among them, the more clearly I felt it. Not voices, not thoughts, but something deeper. A pressure behind my eyes. A sense of hundreds of minds moving in quiet coordination. A hive, and somehow I was connected to it. The soldiers adjusted their movements around me instinctively. Patrol routes shifted, supply carts moved aside. Without understanding why, the army made space wherever I walked. If you're enjoying this tale and want to help a small channel find its feet, liking, commenting, and subscribing makes a big difference. Thank you. The emissary approached from the darkness. You feel them now. I feel something, I said. He shook his head. You feel the structure. He pointed east again. The mountains there looked powerful, and I found myself drawn to them. Jagged black ridges cut against stars, like broken teeth. The source lies beyond those peaks. Why show it to me? The emissary studied me carefully. Because it has already chosen you. I left the camp before midnight. No guards stopped me. A patrol drifted away from the camp, and a wagon rolled across the road, stopping momentarily to allow me to pass. A watchfire burned low. The hive was making space for my departure. Though the soldiers did not understand why, about 6 of the larger soldiers began to follow me as I exited. You are not required, I thought, and they returned back to the camp like shadows. The mountains swallowed the road quickly, wind screaming through narrow stone corridors carved by centuries of erosion. The further east I walked, the stronger the pressure inside my skull became, like something beneath the earth had turned its attention towards me. The ravine narrowed until the sky became a thin strip above black stone walls. That was where the creature appeared. A low growl echoed through the rocks, then it stepped from the shadows. A dire wolf. Twice the size of a natural wolf. Its massive shoulders rolling beneath grey-black fur, streaked with faint blue veins of light. The same blue that pulsed beneath my skin. Its eyes glowed softly, aware of my every move, and it felt as though it was aware of my every thought too. The beast circled slowly, not hunting, but studying me. I drew my sword. The wolf lunged. Its weight slammed into me like a falling tree. Claws scraped across my breastplate. I rolled beneath it, driving steel upwards. The blade cut fur and muscle. The beast howled. The sound vibrated through the ravine like thunder trapped in stone. It attacked again. Teeth snapped inches from my throat. I drove my dagger into its neck. Blood spilled across my gauntlets. The blue veins beneath my skin flared violently. And the wolf froze, just like the soldier had. waiting for its next command. Aligned with my thoughts, I seized the moment. My sword plunged through its skull, and the beast collapsed. Silence returned to the ravine. The pressure in my mind lifted slightly, as though something beneath the earth had just approved. Beyond the ravine stood a ruin older than Caervellen, a vast circular chamber carved directly into black stone. No roof, only the night sky above. At the centre lay a massive stone disc, etched with glowing pale veins. They pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat beneath the earth. When I stepped onto the disc, the world went quiet. Even the wind stopped. And then the stone spoke. A voice, ancient and vast, filled my mind.
You carry broken debt.
I forced myself to speak. Are you the whisper? The answer rolled through my skull like distant thunder.
The whisper is the echo of my commands. It is the collector of debts. Kings across this world have paid for peace for hundreds of years. The debt must be paid. I am the ledger.
Images flooded my mind. Kingdoms rising, cities burning, kings across the land making offerings, sacrificing villages to the whisper to keep the peace, armies marching across centuries, wars fought not for conquer, but for order.
The world above borrows peace. We collect the payment for peace. The kingdom of Ashenford owes us great debt. The debt must be paid.
My voice felt small. Why me? The stone pulsed.
You broke the seal. You survived the payment. Therefore, you are the breach.
Visions surged again. The Unmarked army marching across the continent, cities falling, empires erased. Despite the destruction, it did not feel like chaos, more like balance. A debt being paid to its rightful owner.
You may serve, or you may claim the ledger.
The meaning settled slowly, and with great weight. I was being offered the command of the Unmarked army, to collect the debt Ashenford owed the ledger. Some form of ancient magic which kings had kept at bay for centuries, through sacrifices, offerings, and fear. I would not be a king. I would be something far worse, far superior. Something ancient, something inevitable, and all-powerful. Or I was being invited to serve, whatever that meant. For the briefest of seconds, my mind wandered. A slither of my old self asked, at the deep back of my mind, should I destroy this unnatural thing, whatever it was? When I returned to the Unmarked camp before dawn, the army had already shifted. Ranks opened. Paths formed for me as I walked. Thousands of soldiers subtly turning towards a single man, me, Marcus, walking through the dark. The emissary waited at the edge of the camp. You found it? Yes. And? I looked across the endless rows of soldiers. The collective thoughts of thousands pulsed quietly behind my eyes, waiting, hungry. 30,000 assembled, ready for some unknown purpose. I smiled slightly, the power in my veins raging. I understand the debt now, I said, and for the first time since I had met him, the emissary looked uncertain. I turned towards him, smiled again, and whispered, "I have no need for you anymore." And as soon as the words left my lips, his head fell to the ground, an unmarked soldier already sheathing his sword. Travellers, I set out to seek answers, and I found the source of the power, and now the army waits for orders. The stone beneath the world recognizes me, the whisper runs through me. The ledger offered me a choice. Do I become the ledger and take back the debts the kingdom of Ashenford owes through death and destruction, controlling the unmarked army of 30,000 soldiers, ready to move at my every command? Do I accept the ledger's offer to serve and deal with whatever this entails? Or do I destroy the ledger with the smallest slither of my old uncorrupted self still somewhere within me, despite the power of the whisper flowing through me? The next episode will be the series final. Thank you for watching, and for those who voted in episode 4, subscribe so as not to miss the next episode.